Hey there folks! In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade cranberry sauce. At the time of this recording, we're going into the winter holidays, both Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I don't know about you, but when I had to start cleaning up my diet, there was actually a lot of things, even on the dinner table, not even talking about desserts, but a lot of things on the dinner table that I couldn't eat because I was not supposed to consume refined sugars. And homemade cranberry, not homemade, store-bought cranberry sauce was one of the things that it really bothered me that I couldn't eat it because I love cranberry with turkey. So good. A couple years ago, I got tired of missing out on everything, and so I learned how to make a homemade cranberry sauce that is lightly sweetened with some raw honey. So tasty, so good for you. And the beautiful thing about this recipe is you can make it a couple days ahead of time, store it in the fridge, and then pull it out when your guests come. So let me walk you through how to make homemade honey sweetened cranberry sauce in this video tutorial today. We're going to turn our heat on to sort of a medium, and then we're going to add our cranberries to the stock pot. A lot of people like to add orange juice to their cranberries, but in this instance, I'm actually going to use some elderberry juice and just pour that in to give it a little bit of a more robust and bold flavor. So to make this recipe is about 3 cups of cranberries, which is about a 12-ounce bag of frozen berries, to half a cup of juice. A lot of people love orange juice. I like elderberry. I like the bold flavor it gives, but you can use pomegranate is another really tasty one to add in. And then once everything kind of comes up to a bubble and is simmering away, then we're going to stir in a half a cup of honey and continue cooking it down. Also going to measure out our honey right now so I don't have to do it later, and you can really add as much or as little as you want. Half a cup is a pretty it's a fairly sweet cranberry sauce, but as your cranberries, if you leave them in the fridge for a couple days, you will find that they grow slightly more bitter over that time. So if they're going to sit for a long time, maybe do 3/4 a cup of honey. But here we've got our half cup, and we're just going to wait for those cranberries to simmer now. If you listen very carefully, you can actually hear the cranberries popping and splitting. One where you can see it's happening. Just gonna throw that lid on and let it simmer for about 2 more minutes, and then we'll stir in the honey. All right, as you can see, most of the berries are saggy and soft. They've split open. So we're going to stir in the honey now. Turn the heat down to low so that it can gently simmer. At this point, we're just going to let the cranberry sauce simmer for, I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes, maybe at the top, at the most. And then we're going to cool it and test it for thickness. Now, cranberries are very high in natural pectin, so you don't need to add cornstarch or any thickeners to it. Stir that honey in, let it simmer, and it will thicken on its own. Now, I just want to also point out this isn't a cranberry jelly. This is actually like a berry sauce. It'll still be thick, but it's not like the actual jelly that you open from the cans. This is made from real berries and the flavor is amazing. Stir it from time to time to make sure it doesn't burn. I should also point out, at this time, it's very important that you leave the lid off because you want the extra juices to evaporate off. Alright, this looks like a thick, almost like a pasty sauce now. And that tells me it is done, so let's cool it down and then we'll come back and show you what it's like in its cooled state. Now this sauce is still a bit warm. It will thicken even more, but it's already quite thick and quite tasty. So we're gonna put a band on this lid, a rubber seal, and a band, and there we go with our homemade cranberry sauce. So there you have it. Here's our homemade cranberry sauce ready to go in the refrigerator. And word of warning, it does grow a little bit more bitter as it sits. So if you're gonna make it 3 or 4 days ahead of time, you may want to add a little bit more sweetener. I think I've already mentioned that, but it can just sit there until you are ready to feed it to your guests. A 12-ounce package, which is about 3 cups of frozen cranberries, makes one 500 ml or pint-sized jar, which holds 2 cups of cranberry sauce. So tasty, so delicious. I highly recommend you try making your own this holiday season. It's very simple to do, and then it's also a healthier alternative that you can put on your table come the holidays. All right, folks, comments or questions, leave them below and I will get back to you on those. My name is Autumn Rose. Thank you for joining me today. I will see you next time.